Yo people, so if you follow me on Instagram, you would have known that a couple weeks ago I put on my story that I want to start sitting down and actually just chatting to the camera. So I was talking to my mentor must have been a week ago, and I was chatting about what I should do, how I should kind of do the series, all of these sort of like irrelevant questions about creating content. And he gave me some advice, and he said, Torin, shut up and create. There's too many people in creative bondage or putting too much pressure on themselves on what they need to do rather than just doing it anyway. I'm gonna hate the first 100 videos I do regardless, so I might as well just shut up and create anyway. So that's what I'm here to do. I don't know how many videos I'm gonna do like this, whether it's gonna be a series, what I'm gonna talk about. A lot of you may know that I do a mailing list where I write up every week some ideas, thoughts, experiences, stuff like that. Go check that out if you want to see it in a written format, but I'm gonna translate the video over here too and just talk about some stuff. So pull up, get yourself a drink, get yourself some snacks, and join the conversation. Let's get chatting, boy. I'm ready for it. So first things first, I don't know whether this is insensitive or wrong, but I'm just gonna say it. Happy Corona Day, yeah, because we have finally been a year through lockdown, yeah. It's the 23rd of March today, but on the 16th of March, it was the year since we went into lockdown. And yeah, I really thought this video I can sit down and just talk about some of the things that I found the most valuable throughout the year, what I've learned, the new perspective that I've had through all the lockdown experiences that we've gone through. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. A year after lockdown, a year after Rona, what have I learned? So the first thing that I learned, which is actually quite interesting, is that the government can actually do whatever the hell they want, which is actually crazy to me. Maybe I'm tapped, maybe I'm not thinking about it, but the fact that they were able to just keep us inside and like fine us if we didn't do anything is crazy to me, regardless how we felt. And obviously, again, I so much respect to them. As much as, you know, people have their views, more time for me, it's like, yo, this is the first time in history this happened, and they still were able to get us to this point. So well done to them for that. You know, you guys can have your opinions on that regardless. But again, it's more so the fact that they were able to enforce whatever they wanted to. Of course, it was for safety and stuff like that, but it really got me thinking, in the future, if we really just didn't vote in the right people and they decided to do a madness, like what does that look like for us? And I don't know, I guess for me it made me think more so about politics and power, your voice being heard, and all these sort of things. We saw it throughout the year. Everybody is oppressed in some way or another. There's so many groups that are segregated, so many groups that are going through something that no one really talks about or understands. We've got Black Lives Matter, we have the resurgence of like women's equality, we have students, we have, bruv, there's so many. Got the LGBT community. There's so many people that are just oppressed and have something that they need to say and express to the world and stuff. So I don't know, that was one of the things that really stood out to me. If everyone's got something to say, why don't we really start making steps towards being heard, not just in a protesty way, but in like a logical, educational way as well. So I genuinely think what I learned throughout that year is the power in knowledge, and really the power of being inside the political sphere. So for me, that's definitely something I'm going to continue to try and look into, because I ain't trying to be here in 20 years time when we just end up in a dictatorship, locked inside, police and the army are on the road, and yeah, I'm not on that. So first step, trying to get into politics and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting. I never understood voting. I never really cared too tough, but now my perspective has changed, because I ain't trying to be in lockdown no more, man. I'm really not. So yeah, Boris, please, June 21st, please. Anyways, the second thing I learned has changed my perspective on myself quite a lot. I never cared about traveling. I never cared about going away or experiencing the world or doing things like that. It wasn't really my cup of tea. I was just so focused on what I wanted to do, getting here, doing myself. I'll do it when I'm older, yeah. But you know them things when someone tells you can't do something and it makes you want to do it more? That's all that's really happened here. Boris told us you can't go outside, you can't get on a plane, you can't travel, and now all I want to do is go travel the world and experience all the different things. So I just want to experience while I can, because the thought of having a child at 28 or a child at whatever age and not being able to do that, nah, I'm not on that. While I'm young and I've got the opportunity, I think it's so important that we need to start traveling and experiencing the world and stuff like that, especially from the creative aspect. Having stories to tell, having perspectives and seeing perspectives, and documenting that is going to be great. It's going to be so exciting. And I'm tired of seeing these British weather. I'm tired of seeing the UK walls. I want to go and experience something new for however long. So lockdowns really put me in the position to start doing stuff towards that. I'm now being able to save towards traveling. I'm being able to save towards taking trips, or even just having a plan of where I want to go. I really think people, especially young people around my age, 21, 19, really start saving and investing into experiences, because you don't want to look back in 10 years time like, raw, I have not seen the world, and then be held down by life and a job and all these responsibilities and not being able to do that. So yeah, definitely want to focus on that, and just create some dope content traveling and stuff. So traveling is on the top priority on the agenda right now. So yeah, moving on swiftly, the third thing that I learned from lockdown, this is actually quite an important one, and again, something that is personal to me, but I did not realize how much the man them have mental health problems too. And I know that might sound tapped. It might, maybe I'm naive to the facts, but prior to lockdown, I never really had these conversations with my guys, or talked about mental health, or even talked about feeling down. And I think that's the issue. Really, it's one of the problems that we have in society at the moment. But the increase in the amount of conversations that were happening with me and my guys, and talking about social anxiety, or talking about, I don't know, just not having that confidence and being insecure. I never had those conversations before. I don't know, it was weird having to get vulnerable and talking to the guys like that. Again, my mentor has been talking to me about vulnerability and opening up and living a life authentically and stuff like that. And he says, as men, we are good at having conversations side by side, but we're not good at having conversations face to face. And I think what I kind of gather from that is we're so good at, looking out to the world and just talking about all the things that we're doing and how we're going, but to look into another man's eyes and open up about your life and how you're feeling and what's going on is very, very rare. And I barely see it in a lot of the people that I'm around, but lockdown's showing me, my guys they have anxiety, my guys don't feel good, do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And I'm glad it started to open up a bit. It's made me feel very vulnerable at times. It's made me feel out of control, but that's just how it is. As a Christian, most importantly as well, I think that kind of contributes to the problem sometimes, because I used to feel bad if I felt anxious or felt down, because the Bible talks about having the strength to continue, be strong and courageous. Do not fear, God's got you. All these sort of themes and things of encouragement that, you internalize as your foundation. When it comes to actually feeling down or having the anxiety or having these sort of things, I personally felt like I was not a proper Christian if I felt that way. But you have to realize that the emotions that you have, the thoughts that you have, they are given to you by God too. And even if you're optimistic and have a lot of faith, these are realities that go on. You can be depressed. You can have anxiety. The trick is to not dwell in that. And I think that's something I've had to learn. It's not accepting it as my identity. Yeah, of course, I'm experiencing social anxiety. I'm experiencing anxiety, but I'm not gonna embrace it as who I am. And maybe that's wrong, but maybe it's just the way that I kind of go about it. And I believe that it's giving those things onto God and being like, that's not who I want to identify as, not who I want to be, and I want to give that away, if that makes sense. So maybe I have it twisted, but it's just maybe the way that I kind of process it and stuff, which has been such a benefit to me, being able to be like, yo, God, I feel this way. God, like I'm accepting the reality, but I'm not accepting it as my reality of who I am or what it is that I'm going to be. And knowing that, at the end, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It might not be here right now. I might have to walk towards it, but it's there. And I think that kind of really takes a lot of weight off my shoulders. So I don't know. Obviously, a lot of people experience it differently, but that's what I think the point is. I think it's all about having those conversations, because there might be someone out there that hears what I'm saying, is like, I'm going to try that and it works. But it might be someone else that's like, nah, that's not how it's gonna work for me, and that's totally fine too. So I'm just saying authentically, like, yo, it's something that stood out quite a bit during this whole pandemic, and I'm interested to see how the world comes out of this. I think everyone needs to stop and just be like, yo, is everyone good, fam? Like, are you alright? How are you? Like, that type of thing. Because yeah, the isolation that we've been through has been life changing, I think. And yeah, I'm shook, man. I'm shook to see where everyone is, but I know that we'll all get out of it. It's one of them ones at the end of the day. We've all experienced our own things. So yeah, mental health, man. Check yourself. Make sure everything's okay, man. Do you know what I mean? Don't rush it. Don't be in denial either. Accept it, but keep it stepping at the same time. But the fourth thing that I learned as well, I am such a goal setter, or like every year I used to do a vision board. I feel like this video is just a shout out to my mentors. So shout out Mike Omni, yeah. But again, one of the things that he said to me at the beginning of the year in terms of goal setting is be focused, but be flexible. What that kind of means to me is know the direction that you're going, know the vision that you see and the goal that you want, but make sure that it's flexible and make sure that it's achievable in a situation where anything can change. Boris says we're out June 21st. Do I believe him? I don't know yet. If we're not out on June 21st, I can't set my goals in, you know, the foundation or the belief that, oh, everything I'm going to do is going to be because I'm going to be out June 21st. Because if I'm not, then what am I going to do? Just not move. Do you know what I mean? Just not do anything. And I don't think that's the right way to go about it. Being flexible is being like, yo, okay, my goal is to do X, Y, Z. The path to get there may change. The vehicle that I get there may change. The direction I go to get there may change. It's kind of like if you ever use Siri or a sat-nav to get to somewhere, or even Google Maps, those typical things. And when you accidentally take the wrong turn, it reroutes it, but it still gets to the same destination. I think that's the way we need to start looking at goal setting and planning, is how do we get to that destination, but make it flexible enough to that anywhere we turn or anything that happens or comes our way, we can still reroute ourselves to the direction that we need to go. One of the biggest changes that's happened to me over lockdown, again, is the faith side of things. The reason why I think that's so important is because it's given me a foundation to be rooted in, that as I grow and as things happen, as experiences change, as I go through tough times and stuff, there's always a foundation that is the truth and that I can believe in, that knows, you know what, through everything is gonna be all right. And that's one of the biggest things for me, man. Obviously, I know not everyone's a Christian on that wave, but there's some real power in that, and it's giving me some comfort, just trusting in God to know that He's gonna get me to where I need to go and get me to the place that I need to be at. So 10 out of 10, man. Really start looking intrinsically on the spiritual side. Where can you set your roots in? Where can you set your foundations in? Because society can't hold you down, man. Culture can't hold you down. The government can't hold you down. Your family can't hold you down. Health can't hold you down. Do you know what I'm saying? So really look at who's controlling all of that. Who's able to bypass those sort of things, and put your trust in that, bruv. Because for me, it's got me through a lot. All my days, there's so many things that obviously on a personal level not everyone knows about, and if I did not have that foundation, it wouldn't have got me there. And again, it's not about being perfect. It's not about knowing everything that you need to know, but it's just having that trust and that faith at the end of the day, and it will grow to the place that you need it to grow to. So yeah, that's what I'm at, bruv. Like, the year's been a madness overall. That's all I really know. The year's been crazy. Who would have thought? Like, I've been watching some of the old videos I made during lockdown and stuff, and I can't look at myself the same way that I look at myself now. There's just been so much change and so much development, but it's exciting, man. I'm so excited to see what happens next. June 21st, hopefully we get out. Summer's gonna be lit, hopefully, God willing. Please please, man. Oh, I'm excited. I really do feel like this year is gonna be a good year. We've learned a lot to the point where we can overcome it, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm curious, what did you guys learn from lockdown? What some of the biggest things that's changed for you? And what do you think is going to happen over the next few years where we're going to get out June 21st? Let me know, man. I'm trying to get a conversation going. I don't know what to say anymore. Vibes, man. All my days, I can't do outros. I don't know how to do this. So yeah, no outro, just vibes. Hit the like button, subscribe, get the conversation going in the comments and all these sort of things. And yeah, man, let's have a good time. Peace.